Good evening, world, and welcome to a special report of the NeuroWellness Project, a podcast devoted to exploring compassionate and evidence-informed approaches to autism. I wasn't planning on recording any content today. This is also not like the rest of the content that you see on my channel. However, we did just receive the preliminary findings from the HHS investigation into potential causes for autism. And while the NeuroWellness Project is a non-partisan operation, and I am extremely committed to remaining solutions-oriented as opposed to cause-fixated, I do feel like this is an important topic to cover just because this really is our government's first attempt at addressing the autism situation. Also, just a quick disclaimer, I am not a licensed medical professional and nothing that I am about to say is any form of substitute for a conversation with or the guidance from your licensed medical professional. Thank you. So they announced that they have awarded 13 major grants to investigate not just root causes, but therapies and treatments for autism. And they are doing this using exposomics, which is a scientific field which studies complex interactions between environmental exposures and health outcomes. So this makes sense for a couple of reasons. The first one being, we cover it all the time on this show, autism itself is a very complex and multifactorial condition. The second reason this makes sense is that for the past 20 years or so, we have been dumping all of our autism research money into investigating genetic precursors or identifiers for autism. But as you can see, 20 years after doing this, we really don't have any cohesive conclusions that have been drawn or identified. So this is just kind of formally announcing a pivot from looking inside of the body for the cause of autism to looking externally into our environment for the cause of autism. They also announced that there is an undeniable link between acetaminophen, aka Tylenol use, and the development of autism. And they will be changing the label on Tylenol to reflect this warning, as well as immediately sending out a memo to all practicing physicians that is strongly recommending against the use of acetaminophen for pregnant women and children. They also announced a promising emerging medical treatment for autism called leucovorin. This is something that my son takes. It is just a simple little folate supplement, and many of us are already familiar with leucovorin if we have been on the functional or integrative journeys with our autistic children. Many autistic children are folate deficient, and the research is indicating that up to 2/3 of children who are supplementing their folate using leucovorin are experiencing an improvement in their autism symptoms. So this is very exciting and also happens to line up perfectly with my next guest on the show. He is a chief scientific officer and a medical doctor who is going to be diving into the mechanics behind some of these emerging medical treatments. So that is very exciting. Stay tuned for that. And finally, Trump said that he is recommending spreading out vaccinations for our babies and our children, as opposed to rigorously following the CDC schedule and injecting our children with multiple vaccines at the same time. I understand that this is a very polarizing topic, and I'm sure that he is going to be absolutely roasted in the mainstream media for saying this out loud. But this is such a polarizing topic because the reality might be very uncomfortable. And I think that we need to get better at opening up objective and constructive discussions about these hard topics, as opposed to just shutting down or gaslighting people or suppressing information. So the key takeaway here is that there is hope and healing is possible. Thank you all so much for watching this quick little update, and I will catch you in the next one.